Yeah, it's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another Kicking It session. Today I've got a returning guest, DavinciJ15, legendary early Bitcoin adopter and blockchain startup founder. If you guys didn't see the first interview I did with him, I'll try to leave a link right now in the top right hand corner and also in the description below. What's going on, DaVinci? How are you? You're in Chile, right? Chile.
Yes,
Is how you say
I'm doing good. Yeah. It's just great here in Chile. You know, we're in the middle of winter, and it's like 25 degrees outside, and nice and sunny. So
don't do that to me, man. Don't do that to me. So you're going to actually be, and I'll let the audience, or I'll let you tell the audience a little bit about yourself just quickly, because we did that the first time you came on. But you're going to be here in the States soon. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm going to be going to the Wealth Summit in Chicago. It's basically a one-day event, right? If anybody's interested, right, you can get a 10% off the tickets. I'm going to send you a link for that, and
I'll put that in the
I will
description
be giving
below.
away some tickets. So if you watch out for that on my Twitter or my YouTube page at DavinciJ15. You'll be able to probably win some tickets if you're interested.
Cool. Yeah. That event, guys, is going to be in Schaumburg, which is maybe about 45 minutes outside of Chicago, north of Chicago. So if you guys are in the Chicago land area, or even in Detroit, I was just telling him before we started recording that it's only from there, maybe about 4-hour drive. So not too bad. So tell us about yourself, man. You blew up overnight. You were in Miami, I think you told me, and you started getting tweets and texts from your friends like, hey man, you're going crazy online. Kind of just give a quick overview of that before we get into things for today.
Yeah, that happened in December. I remember coming back from a Miami trip, and people were like sending me messages like crazy saying, hey, what's going on? Everybody's like talking about you on the internet like crazy. And I'm like, what? That was quite a shocker. But what happened was I've been in this space for quite some time when I realized that when I learned about how money works, that it transfers wealth from the poor and the middle class to the rich. And I felt I had to do something about it because as I was reading books and stuff like that, one of the things that stuck out was that, you know, it said that the only way that evil can persist is the good men do nothing. And so even though I didn't want to do YouTube videos, it's not my thing. It wasn't I'm not really a public speaker kind of guy. I knew that I had to say something about our monetary system and help as many people as I could, even if it was just one person.
Yeah,
I felt that would be good enough, because you know what's coming is going to be a complete disaster. We've seen this over and over again in the history books of mankind, that we go from a wealthy nation and we go into enslavement and then back to wealthy again. And so I would like us to skip that enslavement part, if you don't mind.
I mean, are we already enslaved? I don't know, DaVinci. It seems like we may already be in that situation, maybe not physically, but from a monetary perspective. Debt is an enslavement type of thing, right? Debt slaves is what they call us. So, and you were getting a lot of flack for a lot of the stuff you were saying back then, because you were a precious metals guy, right? You were talking about precious metals initially, then you found Bitcoin, and man, you said you were just getting so much hate online, right?
Oh yes, for sure. I mean, I remember once I started talking about Bitcoin, because one person said, "Hey, what do you think about Bitcoin?" I was like, "Scam. There's no way you can solve the double spend problem." And I decided to read the source code, and then when I read the source code and white paper, I was like, "Oh darn, this guy did it. He solved it. This is unbelievable, right?" And I did a video saying, every once in a while, something comes along that allows poor people to be rich because you're able to buy it at a very, very cheap price. This is one of them. And it was at $1 at the time. Less than $1, really.
It's been almost a year since I had you on. I had you on in December of 2018. A lot has changed since then. What are you doing now? What do you think about the space right now? Bitcoin is hovering around 10,000, 9,500, something like that. Um, do you think we found a bottom? Kind of give me your thoughts from a price perspective on Bitcoin, and what other projects are you really eyeing? I know you're doing some stuff with your Pandora's wallet. Just kind of give us an update on everything, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, yeah, a lot's been going on. I've been to quite a few places. I've done some speaking events and so forth. And yeah, I'm still Pandora's Wallet has been was released in February, and we are still improving that product. Software is a constant thing, and that's a you know what I noticed that people chase the altcoins and in the hopes they'll find the next big project. And you have to understand how software works. It's not exactly where you purchase a type of car or cell phone, and somebody else produces a better cell phone or better car, and beats out the current competition.
Hmm.
Software gets upgraded, it's improved, and so it's like buying a car, and then all of a sudden that car gets upgraded right for you to a new one. so so if you think about it in that sense, right, you'll notice that, wait a second, it's not going to be dethroned Bitcoin that easily,
Hmm.
because as long as they continue to upgrade and make it better, why would you switch over, right?
Yeah.
So think about that when you consider buying all the different altcoins, right? And people will still buy them. There's no way that's not going to happen, right? You could say the reason why is that people always, whether it's a scam or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is that people will always look for the next big thing that can do better than Bitcoin, and it's just human nature, right? We think that we can outsmart the markets, so that's why I
Especially
think
with
we'll
people
have another
who,
alt season.
yeah, especially with people who missed Bitcoin's first wave. They want to recreate that, right? So they're like, hey, I want to be the first in the next biggest and latest, greatest thing. So do you think we'll see another altcoin season? And if so, is the breadth of that altcoin season going to be as wide as it was in 2017?
Uh, I think it will be for the newer coins. Anything that's been recently created after maybe 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Some coins in 2017 um, will do extremely well because they're new, they're shiny, and
That's a
you
good,
know they,
you bring up a, I've never thought of it that way. I never thought about the newer coins doing better than the older altcoins from the, when I say alt 2.0 season. I'm sure you're OG in the game as well. You remember the altcoin 1.0 where we had like WorldCoin, Namecoin, PeerCoin, all of those. But that's a very unique take that you have, that you see the newer coins doing better than some of the older coins from the altcoin 2 season. That's pretty neat.
exactly
I've never heard that
exactly
one before.
the reason why is because um, they've gotten a lot. They've matured, and it's almost like solidified. So they're making changes and upgrades. It's a lot harder for them. And whilst the newer coins, right, they can market all kinds of new features that they can build in really rapidly
And people
because they're
have
new.
amnesia, right? We forget really quickly about the
No, it's
other
not
coins,
that. It's
right?
just that like for example, I got into Namecoin, right? And Namecoin did not do well the second time around in 2017,
No, it didn't.
and that was like the second oldest, well, maybe even third oldest
Third,
coin.
third, yeah, it was the third. Yeah,
Right?
yep.
And you can see a lot of coins like that did not participate very well in the Bitcoin run up in the altcoin season.
I
You'll,
think I
you'll,
have to
there's,
agree with you with that. I again, that's a unique point of view I haven't heard yet from anyone, and I think I have to agree. I can see that the newer, because I was thinking maybe some of, and I think some of the older coins like Litecoin, of course, will do well just by nature because it's the second altcoin or first altcoin right? So you have some of those, like if you want to call it brand name altcoins, will do well. But yeah, the newer ones that are at the tail end, like you said, late 2019 or 18 into 19, probably will do well in the next run up. What are your thoughts about Algorand? Have you been keeping up with that one? That's a pretty strong project. I did a review of that one before. Have you heard about that project?
No, I haven't actually. Can you
Oh,
tell me a
okay.
bit about it?
Yeah, man. They're so the individual that created SK Snarks or ZK Snark actually created this coin or project. So you should take a look at it. It's very fast, and the way they're doing it's called proof of stake, but it's a different proof of stake type of algorithm. It's very neat, man. And actually, Facebook, and we're going to talk about Facebook, and I'm not trying to shield the coin. I just brought it up because I thought maybe you would know about it, but Facebook actually was looking to acquire the technology, and he decided, the founder, to not go that route and make it open source. So Algorand is something to definitely look into if you haven't heard about that one. It's more so payment network. It's not really, I don't think, a smart contract platform per se, but
Okay.
yeah, maybe check
So
that out.
so how fast is the transactions per second? Like how many transactions per second can they do?
Good question. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I look at more so the teams behind these types of projects. And when you have a guy, the person that created ZK Snarks, he he and that, like, a lot of anonymous coins use ZK Snarks and other applications as well, not just cryptocurrencies, but this guy actually won some type of award that's equivalent to the Nobel Peace Prize for computer science. So the guy knows what he's doing, and that's what really intrigued me about the project. So it's algorand.com. Just check it out. I'll maybe drop a link in Skype or something so you can check a little bit more about it. But
Awesome, awesome.
yeah, speaking of Facebook, though, because they were looking to acquire Algorand, what are your thoughts about this Libra project, man?
Well, I think this is great. It'll give people the taste of cryptocurrencies and be able to transfer rapidly across the world, anywhere. And then they'll realize, wait a second, I'm losing money here holding these this Libra, and I've got this Bitcoin over here, which I could buy instantly with my Libra. I think I'll go over there.
Yeah, no, I agree, because it's right. It's going to be a stable coin, right? Of three fiat currencies: the yen, the dollar, and the euro, right? So it's almost like an SDR hybrid. But I'm not even I don't, Da Vinci, I don't even think it's going to even happen. Like, I don't think the governments are going to allow it, because it is a direct threat to the monetary system that they've created and that we all live in currently. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think they will, because China's already has already finished developing their own project, and they want to supersede North America before they realize that they need to do this. And so, with Facebook doing this, they've already got the advantage, right, to just let this thing go and pass China, right? So they have to, basically, or else they're going to be way behind.
But I mean, but we have to understand, and just, make sure the audience understands this, that Facebook is not the Federal Reserve, right? So the Federal Reserve is not going to be happy with Facebook looking to take demand away from their created dollar, right?
Yes,
And so
yes,
that's why
but
we've been having so many hearings here over this Libra. They're trying to stop it left and right. They're saying, and I mean, I agree that Libra has actually helped Bitcoin's story, because people, like, can see, hey, this is not Bitcoin. We're having all these meetings on Capitol Hill for and about Libra and banning and stopping that project from starting, but they can't ban and stop directly. They can hurt it, but they could never stop the utility of Bitcoin. So do you think that that's really one and the same, meaning Facebook and the US?
I mean, they've already created the SDRs, right?
Yeah.
And so this is going to effectively be a clone of the SDRs that allows people to use the SDR directly, because the SDRs are working right now. The special drawing rights, for those of you who
Yeah.
don't know what that is, it is a basket of currencies that includes the euro, the yen, the dollar, the renminbi, and I think one other, but I think it's the British pound. And so it's created by the what's it called, the world
IMF.
IMF. Yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only used by governments and large businesses at this current point.
Right.
So if they want to flip us over to that when the dollar collapses, well, here, hey, they've already got a flip switch right there with the Libra coin.
Okay, so you see the Libra coin being somewhat like a retail version of the SDR, kind of.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
okay. Never thought of it like that. So about this China thing, man, I don't know if you follow Real Vision on YouTube. Raul, I forgot his last name. You ever heard of his channel, financial channel on YouTube?
No, I haven't
Okay,
actually.
he's a hedge
There's so
fund.
many people out there.
Yeah, there are, but this is really like he was a Goldman Sachs guy. He runs his own hedge fund, one of the top macroeconomic hedge funds in the world. So he has a YouTube channel network called Real Vision, and he's really just presenting and creating unbiased financial content. And he, in one episode, he had I think Kyle Bass is his name, interview a guy from China. The guy is warning everyone, like, look, China is not our friend. And this guy is from China, man. He's like a billionaire. And he had to leave China because they were trying to kill him. And he's just warning people about what, the People's Bank of China, is how corrupt they are and all of that. What are your thoughts? And you brought it up about them creating their own cryptocurrency. How do you see that playing out in the world chess game of monetary policy?
Well, it's going to be an interesting battle, right? It's obviously the North against the West against the East, and who's going to win? It's the person who produces the product that people actually uses. That's the end of the day, is what they need to do, or how they could force other people to use it.
Well, they can surely do that in China, right? So if they even force in China alone, it's a wrap, right? They have how many people? Almost 3 billion or 1.4 billion people. So yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think that's what's going to happen? They're going to issue that and just make all citizens of China utilize
Yeah. The only problem is, right, they've got there's a wild card there on the playing field here.
What's
It's
that?
called Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
that can supersede all these guys, right?
Yeah.
So they got a big problem when it comes to Bitcoin.
Okay.
It's way better than anything they can create.
Hmm. Even with the issues with bandwidth and scalability, you think, because last time we talked, I think we both agreed that the Lightning Network was not going to be the proper scaling solution for Bitcoin. What are your thoughts on that nowadays? And do you have any, like, how do you see Bitcoin actually being utilized? Is it money to you? Because I don't think it's money. I think it's more of a store of wealth, like a digital gold or gold 2.0. So what are your thoughts? Yeah.
If I had the time, I wish I did. I'm focused on Pandora's wallet.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had the time, I knew exactly what to do with the Lightning Network in order to get it to actually work. What they're doing wrong is they're marketing it wrong. They're marketing it as a second layer, in a sense that, hey, you have to jump into this second layer and in order to be able to transact fast. No, what you have to do is sell it as a new coin that's backed up by Bitcoin.
That's what it is. It's LBTC, right? It is literally a new coin.
Exactly. That happens to be backed up by Bitcoin, right? And so if you sold it in that
Oh
sense,
man, that's a good one.
right,
Yeah, that's a good one.
then it would in the next run up, it would just like go crazy, it would go nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, because essentially it really is a different coin that you use on the Lightning Network. I don't know if many people know this or not, but the LB is it LBTC? Is that what it is? I think.
LBTC Lightning.
I
I
don't know
don't
what
know.
they call it, but it's another coin, a derivative of Bitcoin that runs on the Lightning Network. And then when you're ready to reconciliate everything, it balances out, and boom, you get your Bitcoin back, right?
No, you
Something like
see,
that. Is it
again, they're
something?
selling it wrong, right? You have to
Mm-hmm.
sell it like this, where, hey, you know what? You buy this coin, and if you want bitcoins, you can trade them back to bitcoins at any time for the exact same
Yeah.
price.
Right. Right.
That's it.
Right.
Don't say okay. You can reconcile with the blockchain. No, people don't get that. No,
And then
sell it
it's
back.
and also it's that's a good point, man. They really need to hire you on that one. Um, and then it's like an invoicing system too. Like you gotta send an invoice to get paid, and it's yeah, it definitely is. It's being sold improperly, in my opinion, as well. But I did not think about pitching it that way to the end user.
Yeah.
Craig,
Also, they've taken
yeah,
out that invoicing system, so that invoicing system is still there actually, but you can now send money, any amount to anyone directly without actually having them give you an invoice. So that's been fixed, and so I am so glad because it was a mess. That
oh,
was
that's
like a
great. I didn't know
disaster
that.
on
Okay,
wheels.
cool, cool. I didn't know that. Craig Wright, what are your
Oh my god.
thoughts, man? he lost. He lost the court battle here in Florida, and now this guy is looking to challenge the court decision. What is going to happen with this, and do you think he's going to actually owe or pay? Can he even pay the what $500 million in Bitcoin that is owed to the Kleeman or Clayman estate at this point? What are your thoughts? If you've been keeping up with that at all, I don't know.
The only way he's got is his only way out of this mess that he's in is to admit that he's not Satoshi. and
And
try to prove that,
and he's
because
not
now
going
he's
to do
got to prove a
that.
negative, and that's even
Right, right. He's got to prove a negative. Yeah, very true. You can't do that. That's impossible.
worse.
Yeah, that's impossible. That's funny.
So he's up the creek without a paddle.
Right, 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 right. So who do you think Satoshi Nakamoto is then? Is it a group? Is it a person? Is it the NSA? Is it like who is it? And does it matter? It doesn't really matter, but who if you had to pick your bet cuz you've been hitting them out the ballpark today with these your ideas here. So who do you think who does DaVinci J15 think Satoshi Nakamoto is? Is it
Well,
you?
okay, I'll let you know. Let your audience know this is gonna be a big
Uh-oh.
reveal.
Uh-oh.
It's me. Just
Satoshi is black. Oh my god, I did. Oh my god, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. No, but
the man,
seriously,
I have no idea.
you have
I
no
could,
idea.
if I were to take a wild guess, I would say it was one or two people, and they're probably already
Mm. Mm. Okay, nefariously. Their demise kind of done in a nefarious way, or do you think it's there? What do you think?
well. History is clear on this, right? You mess with the bankers, you're
Mm.
going to get killed.
Yeah, that's very
Absolutely.
true.
There's hands down
Yeah.
no way you're going to survive that, right?
Right.
At all. Period.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Wow. Okay. Cool. Cool. So that's a neat take on that. What are your thoughts? What are you excited about? We're getting toward the end of 2019. What are you most excited about? What are you doing? What other? Yeah, I know you're coming to the States here soon in October to Chicago, but what other things are on your plate at the moment, Da Vinci?
Well, I was in discussion with Tone Bays, going to his summit, his also event in Bali, and I'm going to go to do that, do some training with him on trading, and also I'm also going to probably go to Singapore and maybe even Russia in October and November, but that's up in the air still. I wasn't gonna go to back to Davos, but I'm reconsidering it with Chris like begging me to go. so so
I was
maybe I
gonna,
might go.
yeah, I was gonna ask you about Davos last year. You were there. Thoughts about that? You won an award, I believe. I saw you on Instagram flexing with that. What
Yes,
what were your
yes,
thoughts
right
about the
here.
environment? Yeah, let's see that.
It's
Nice.
right here. I don't know if your audience can see that, but
Yeah.
here it's the Blockchain Park Award, right? Best Influencer of 2019,
What are your
and yeah, I
thoughts
mean,
about the whole environment there? You know, Davos, if people don't know, I think my audience does. Davos is a very affluent type of event, right? A lot of the world leaders, billionaires, they come together and pontificate about the issues of the world.
no,
How,
not
how,
really. They're there
no,
to drink, party, and have a good time, and then maybe network a little bit, and that's it.
that's it.
And that's what I found. It was
Okay.
mostly like a big party. Even Janet Yellen was drinking and getting drunk. So it's like
Wow.
whatever.
So no Illuminati sacrificial
No,
Alex Jones type tinfoil hat stuff going on.
no, it's a big party, and maybe it's a cover up for something else, but I don't know. It just seems like a gigantic party to me.
So what were your thoughts, or what did you see people's gauge and pulse on Bitcoin? I know that was a year ago, so things may have changed, and maybe we can get a compare and contrast from you at a later date from this year versus last year. But what was the consensus among all those affluent people about Bitcoin?
Well, you know what? It was a big event in the sense of like big part of the whole Davos event because there was a lot of different booths and people talking about it and comparing Bitcoin to gold and seeing the future with this new asset type and everybody's trying to produce something with a blockchain. And you know what? When I think about it, right, the only use for a blockchain is for money because it's slow, it's it's inefficient, and the reason why it's that way is in order to protect the assets, the currency asset on the system, and and so
Okay, this is something I didn't expect you to say something like that. So you don't like? Are you familiar with Hashgraph?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
so do you think that looks like that's maybe a promising project that's not pertaining to specifically currency? It's what are your thoughts? I mean,
I have to take a look at the source code in order to really say for sure.
okay,
Um,
okay,
when I heard about Hashgraph, it was a concept at the time, and it was like very like pie in the sky kind of thing.
yeah, it was.
Uh,
Mm-hmm. It was. I agree. No, I agree. Yep, yep.
so I don't know if it's actually produced yet. I don't know where it is in the sense of production.
Yeah, so
And
just to let you know, they're actually launching DaVinci September 16th here. Yeah, they're going to be launching September 16th. The main net will be launching. They've got some heavy hitters that are backing it. I think it's more so a centralized in nature type of blockchain.
it would have to
Because
be.
yeah, because they're only like 39. They call I think sponsors or governors or something like that. But yeah, check it out, man. I've got it on the screen now for people to check out. But it's hedra.com. That's HEDERA.com. They're opening up September 16th. So we'll see what's happening. They've got some big people there: Boeing, IBM, Deutsche Telekom, some names I've heard of for sure. Namura I've heard of. Swisscom blockchain. So Tata Communications, that's huge. So
Yeah, I mean, let's just see what it does and how it works. Maybe you could use it as a second layer to Bitcoin or something like that.
hmm
I have to research it a little bit more, but if this thing is real, it'd be very interesting to say the least.
yeah, I think so. I mean, we never know, man, how this is going to pan out. Always say that we're in the Netscape era of uh, cryptocurrencies. I think we've got a long way to go, a long way to grow, and we'll have
I
to
wouldn't
see
call
what
it the
happens.
Netscape area. I would say in the website area of
Okay.
cryptocurrencies, because you have to understand this is like just as big as the web. So how many web pages can you actually have on the internet? Right? There's no limit, right?
No, I
How
guess
many
I
different
guess I was speaking figuratively as far as where we are in the age of the internet, right? Like Netscape was like our first real good web browser, and then we evolved and things we now have like broadband and it's grown from there. I'm just saying as far as where we are in blockchain, I think we're very early, and I don't know if I can even imagine where we'll be in just 5 to 10 years with this. We start adding AI into the mix. It could be a gift and a curse. I don't know.
Yeah, I know it can go either way, right?
Right.
Because it all depends on the public's desire to use the product, and at the same time, I think more than just the desire of the public, but how well Bitcoin can upgrade and stay relevant for the
Okay.
foreseeable future. I think that's so far given with the fact that Bitcoin, its dominance is like at 70% right now.
Yes.
And looking at the charts, you can see that Bitcoin on the weekly does not want to break down below the 13 EMA
Okay.
on the weekly. This is a good sign. We can see a really a good pump coming in the next little while, and that's it's kind of crazy. I mean, this move is like I think unprecedented so fast, in the fact that it's only been since the top it's only been less than 2 years since
Mm-hmm.
its last all-time high,
And it's
and
gonna chase it
it's
quickly,
almost
right?
back at half of what it
Yeah.
was from all-time high.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we
That's
got to
ridiculous.
14,000. Remember? I mean, that
Yeah.
that's pretty close. 13.9 or something like that. So, do you see all-time highs before end of year? I know we don't know. No one has a crystal ball, but if you had to bet,
No, I do not. It's possible.
yeah,
Possible. It's
right,
not impossible,
right.
but it's just improbable,
Mm-hmm.
right? We still have to pass, the 61.8, which is at close to 14,000. Then we have to pass the 78.6, which is close to $16,000. And so, yeah, those are going to be some serious resistance points because a lot of people were stuck up there, and they're waiting. They're like, oh my God, if Bitcoin gets up to 17,000, I'm going to sell. I'm going to sell. I don't care. Right.
Right.
And there's going to be a lot of pressure there because there's a lot of guys sleeping on the couch, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
they bought it at the all-time high,
Yep.
and they'll be glad to get out, and they'll be selling their bitcoins and being allowed to go back into their beds with their wives. So
Yeah.
yeah, you gotta consider that
Very true.
when we get up to those areas. So it's going to be a very tough going in that particular area, right? So we'll see if there's enough bullish sentiment, which it's going to be difficult because I think all the people who are buying now are just people in the space, and they're buying either with what's it called, dollar cost averaging, and doing slow buys because they believe in the space, and they're smart to do so. But is it enough to push us over 20,000? You know what? Only time will tell.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Only time will tell. Any last thoughts, Da Vinci?
Yes, if you're interested in trading altcoins, I know altcoins haven't done very well,
Mm-hmm.
but their day will come, and when they do, right, you want to keep them off of the exchanges,
Mm-hmm.
and Pandora's wallet will help you do that.
you'll still be able to trade them, especially if you do the little old lady style. It's the most easiest method to trade. I would consider it investing, not trading, and that's the method that I used to bring me from. I actually started with $20,000 trading just the altcoins, and I brought my portfolio up to $10 million. So, yeah, and I'm not the only one who's done that. I mean, the person who taught me the little old lady strategy, Brian Beamish, from the Rational Investor, he went from $450 actually, to $500,000. So there's an example of how easy it is to use a simple strategy and build wealth over time.
So where can they find information out about that?
Well, you can find, I have some videos on how to do the little old lady strategy at www.davincicodes.net. If you just click on more and videos, you can get access to those videos. Also, you can also learn about how to trade at therationalinvestor.com. I will be doing a video with Brian today. Check that out on my on my YouTube channel at DavinciJ15, and yeah, you'll be able to get a link to access his courses.
Sweet. All right, that sounds good. DavinciJ15, guys, early Bitcoin adopter, blockchain startup founder, doing a lot of things here in the space. Legendary, the urban myth, if you want to say. DavinciJ15. DaVinci, thanks again for coming on for kicking this session with me. It's your boy Crypto Blood, and make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell. We out of here, people. Holla!